Hello people, it's me again, back from the dead, ready to make some stupid videos. We're gonna build this 4x4 door right here. Check that out. Yeah, buddy. Okay, this is what it looks like that. Yeah, like a transformer. This is what you need. You need all this stuff right here. Sand, note blocks, stuff. Alright. Yeah, let's start building. What the? Start laying out the pistons, so just follow along. We're gonna go 3 up like that, cut those 2. So it's floating, yes. And then we're gonna go 4 out here. This is like the classic 4x4 door setup. We're gonna diagonal there. And then we're gonna go diagonal again, come out 2. So we have something going on there. And we're gonna place 4 pistons like that, and we just remove those. So you got something like that, okay? And then we're gonna go 2 up there, 1 sticky piston facing down, like that, so they're kind of symmetrical. Then 1 there, sticky piston, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, something like that. And then we're gonna go down diagonal there, and then of course diagonal here, and then diagonal again to across with our double piston extenders, like that. So you got that. Okay, so the red circuit has to do with the input. So we're going to place a piston here on the right here. So sticky piston facing inwards. And then we're going to place an observer. Make sure that's pointing down. That's going to push out, power this redstone here. Just place redstone down there like that. So we got something like that. Then we're going to place a block here. This is going to be where we actually plug the thing in, right? So that's our button. Alright, now we're going to place blocks here. So 1 there and 1 there. So it kind of looks like that. So kind of asymmetrical or whatever. Then we're going to place repeaters out here. This one is a 4-tick repeater there. And then on this side, a 4-tick repeater as well. And then those are going to power pistons on both sides. Like so. Alright, now we need to place note blocks on the side of this dust right here. So that's going to update this observer here, facing out here, and then make sure to place a block on top of that so it makes no noise. No block there, and then an observer, and yeah, that's pointing out here. I'm gonna place blocks in front of these on top of the sticky pistons, and then these are gonna have sand on top, 2 of them like that. Okay, if we give it a test, we're just gonna see pushes it up and then pulls it down a little bit later. Okay, so now we're going to come on this side here, and the block that's getting powered by the observer here, we're going to place an observer facing out next to the sticky piston, facing outwards. And then we're going to dig a hole here, come down here, place an observer facing down, that's very important. And then just cover this back up here, and then redstone here, so that's going to power, poof, and then a repeater, boop. It's gonna update down here, and this will power note block here, which will then update observers coming out like that, so out here, and then that's gonna have 2 observers pointing upwards with a sticky piston there, so it's gonna be like an electrical surge going everywhere. Okay, actually it's gonna place an observer facing out there, and then this is gonna update that observer, so it's coming out and it's going to go up, and then it's going to go in like this in here, and it's going to power this block on this side here. It's going to power these 2 pistons at the same time. Okay, then we're going to power we're going to place a block there with this repeater here, dust there, and a repeater there, and then we're going to place an observer pointing up, so it's going to power this. And then now we just got to repeat the other side, so block here, observer facing out next to the sticky piston. Then we dig a hole here, crouch down, place an observer there, and then redstone here, and a repeater there, block, redstone dust, and then a repeater there with an observer pointing upwards. So that's symmetrical there. Then we're going to place a note block here. That's going to have an observer pointing out, and then 2 extra observers coming out like that with a sticky piston. So yes, And then an observer facing outwards here next to the redstone dust. That's going to update. An observer pointing up, and then here an observer pointing towards with a block there. So now if we place our door blocks here, so we're just going to place these. Activate. Ta-da! That's just the bottom part. Okay, so now we're going to affect the double piston extenders and stuff. Make sure it's, you know, the blocks are in the open position, so just keep it like this. It's important. Okay, so we're going to start on this side. We're going to place just 2 observers there. Both of them are facing upwards. We're going to place a block there. This is going to have a piston on top with an observer facing inwards in the center. And then, you know what? Let's just fill in the door blocks here. Place our door blocks. There we go. And then, as a matter of fact, let's place our frame as well. So like that. That's just the wall blocks, and these are the door blocks here. Just separating. And make sure there's no blocks in there. It's going to screw some stuff up. Okay, so when this pushes up, it's going to power this block here, diagonal to that. Redstone there, and a pink block right there to power these 2 pistons here. Then, on this side, we're going to place a sticky piston facing out. That's going to get powered by this block, which is going to toggle this observer block here. So 2 out there, cut that one out, make sure it's facing down. And we're going to place a note block right here. A block there, and then that's going to have redstone dust on top of there. Like that. So when this toggles out, it's going to update this, and then it's going to power the note block, which will then update this observer here, pointing into this block here. So yeah, that's it. Now we just got to do the other side. So we're going to place 2 observers facing up, a block there, sticky piston, and an observer facing in the center. Block diagonal to that. It's going to power this redstone dust, and a block there. Then a sticky piston over here facing out, and then come out 2, cut this one out, and place an observer facing down with a note block there, and a block there with redstone dust on top of that. Then we just finish it off with an observer facing in there. Alright, now it's time to test it out. Oh yeah, look at that. And it's open. Okay, so now there's some important notes we need to cover. Because if you don't follow them, well, it's gonna be broken. Okay, so now first note is make sure there are no blocks covering in there. That will totally screw it up. And I could press the button, but you know, I don't think I wanna. So just make sure there's no blocks in there. Because, you know, when it pulls down, these will power those pistons and it'll just push everything all over the place. Alright, now the next important note is that when the doors open, you got to make sure this observer here is in this position and that this observer is in this position here. Because if we have it in the closed position, you'll see this one moved down and this one got pulled in. So if it's like altered, it's gonna like go crazy or something. So yeah, make sure it's in the closed position, these observers are like that, and in the open position, these are like that in line or something. So that's important to take note of. Okay, so now the final note is when you power the input here, we're gonna hook it up. Make sure it can be just the redstone wire coming out like this, right? So if I you know, you can hook this up wherever you want. Make sure it's button activated. Gets powered the same way. So yeah, you can hook this up anywhere you want. Now, if you have like a different input where it involves like a short pulse limiter in there. So let's say like creating a pulse limiter. If we have a 1 tick pulse in there, and let's say the input is, I don't know, somewhere here or something. And so yeah, this is a monostable. I'm sure you know these. 1 tick pulse. If it just 1 tick pulse, it's gonna spit this observer out here, and that means, yeah, you gotta press it twice. Now, when you have a monostable circuit like this, make sure it's at least 2 ticks, and then that's all you need to fix it. Now this is, need to reset here. Okay, and then at least 2 ticks pulse will be enough to activate the door. There we go. And yeah, I'm sure anything longer than that is perfectly fine. So at least 2 ticks. If it was 1 tick, that'll just spit the block out and you have to press it twice. So that's 1 note, yes. Alright. And because it's button activated, you can hook up, you know, buttons all over the place, no matter where you are. So just hook up the wire, just make sure that the redstone has 15 blocks power, placing repeaters each time. This is like Redstone 101. Okay, sorry if that made you feel kind of bad. Okay, anyways. Okay, so that's the ultimate big brain 4x4 door that I made. So, I mean, okay, it's not that big brain, but, you know. Anyways, okay, bye.